Hi Capricorn, welcome to 2017. This is Astrologykiki and we're going to go over your January forecast. The beginning of the month is going to be a very productive time for you, and you're at a little bit of an interesting focus where you are just coming out of your 12th. Your planets are sort of moving out of the 12th house and into the first house. And the 12th house tends to be a time where things sort of slow down a little bit. It's sort of regrouping, recapitulating what has gone on throughout your year so that you can start a new year with a bang in some ways. So um, I tend to think of the 12th house. The 12th house signifies quite a few things: secrets, gossip, institutions, larger institutions like um, jails and hospitals and schools, the government, things like that. As well, it's very broad, as well as spirituality or even astrology is a 12th house thing. But uh, for me, the way it usually pans out is 12th house for me is a time to sit back a little bit, review my goals, review my dreams, review where I want to be, so that when I get into first house activities, I can move forward with them. But usually you can't always move forward very well without a little recap of where you've been, what last year brought you, and how you want to move forward throughout the next year. So you're kind of transitioning, and it's a perfect timing because it's the beginning of the year. So fortunately, as Capricorn, you're able to do it, and within that calendar year works out really nicely for you. But this is a really good time for you to transition out of that very slow moving, taking a hands off approach to and summarizing your year to moving forward into the next year. And so your focus is really going to be on those 2 months, moving from one to the other, or those two houses, excuse me. And as well as there's a focus at the beginning of the month on the third house, which is a house of siblings, neighbors, community, short travel, like city to city kind of travel, not necessarily foreign or international travel. It can involve contracts, marketing, writing. So you do have a focus on that. This is a good time, very productive and initiative time to move forward and start maybe a writing project or a marketing project or some kind of contract negotiation, something with brother, sister, or relative nearby. So, good time to start. And you will have planets there supporting you through that and helping you become involved. And really, the aspects going on at that time, you will have to make the initiative because these are things that probably won't just, in order to take advantage of those aspects, you actually do have to go out and make an effort. They won't just fall into your lap. Towards the end of the month, there are some mixed aspects, positive as well as challenging. But for you, you're still working between those two houses, the 12th and the 1st. So moving from like a summarizing, recapitulating area into your first house, which is like coming out party. Here you are, ready to rock and roll, and it's a very look at me stage where the focus is on you. Even if you don't want it to be or you don't try to make it you will find people will just naturally gravitate towards you and want to focus on you. And And all of a sudden, when you've got you a little bit in hiding on the 12th house, and then your first house, you just kind of come out, and people notice you, and they want to be around you, and they want to talk to you. So those two things will be going on, but instead of the third house towards the end of the month, we're going to run into a fourth house focus. And the fourth house is home and family and property. So maybe one of your, maybe you are moving. Maybe you are buying, selling, leasing, renovating, or maybe it's something to do with your family. Maybe your focus is going to be on your family. People very, very close to you. And when I say that there are some mixed or challenging aspects thrown into the end of the month, we're looking at some pretty big planets there. We're looking at Uranus, which is the planet of surprise, and Neptune, which is the planet of creativity, and it's a little bit of a rose-colored glasses type of planet. And as well as Saturn, and Saturn is the planet of restriction, and it's a little bit of a taskmaster, wanting you to stay on point and be responsible, and be stable. So whatever it is with regards to, maybe whenever I see home focus and then Neptune getting involved in some kind of challenging aspects, I always think of flooding. Neptune has to do with water, and you can run into plumbing issues or flooding issues, things along those lines. But water can potentially get in the way there in some way, shape, or form. Neptune can be a little damaging in that sense. Or maybe you're traveling to a place that has wonderful beaches. It's not necessarily all bad. But you do have, you will see some obstacles in the way, and you are going to need to, and you will persevere and work through them. Towards the middle of the month, there's a full moon in your 6th house. Your 6th house is the house of work environment, health, daily tasks and things of that sort. So with the full moon, that signifies the ending of things, and maybe you're moving out of an office and into a new place to work, or you are starting, you're kind of ending one health routine and beginning a new. The full moons, they signify the end of something, but it's also something that's sort of run its course, and it's time for you to move on to something else. So whether it's in regards to your health and an issue that you may have had, this might be the time to move on. Maybe you got help with that, and it's time for you to now move on to a different focus and different routine, or a different workplace. Towards the end of the month, there is a new moon in your 1st house, and Pluto is going to be a factor in this new moon. Pluto is the planet of rebirth, perfect for your 1st house new moon. New moon signifies beginnings. So does the 1st house. This is time for you to step out. Here I am. Look at me. Again, even if that's not really your thing, it's going to be, the focus is going to be on you whether you like it or not. So new moon is really going to bring that out. It's the new you. You're starting your year off right, and you're welcoming 2017. And that is your January forecast. Thanks.